In a gearbox, it consists of mainly the gearbox body and gearbox top. In the gearbox top, there are number of gear selector rods. Okay, these are connected to the gear shifter fork. Whenever, based on the requirement, we are changing, we are sliding this gear shifter rod, and in turn we are moving the gear fork, and in turn we are moving the dog clutch to engage different gears. Okay, and here in this gearbox top, actually in this case, totally 5 forward and 1 reverse speed is there. For 2 speed, every 2 speed we are having 1 gear shifter rod. If you slide it towards right, we may get first gear. If you move towards left, we may get second gear. Like that, for each 2 gears, we use 1 gear shifter rod and 1 gear fork. 1 gear fork can be used for 2 gears, to get 2 gears. Okay, one is maybe for one first and second, second and third and fourth, again fifth and reverse. Okay, and again here this is the gearbox body. In this we are using the clutch shaft. This is the clutch shaft or gearbox input shaft. One end of the shaft is connected to the clutch driven plate. Okay, it is in connection with the flywheel. The power is transmitted from the engine to the flywheel, then flywheel to the clutch driven shaft. In turn, if there is no slip in the clutch, this gear clutch plate will runs at the same speed as that of the engine. Suppose if the engine runs at 1000 rpm, this also runs at the 1000 rpm if there is no slip. And again, the gearbox input shaft is also running at the same speed as that of the clutch. Now, this gearbox input shaft gear is connected to the meshed with the counter shaft. For example, here this is the counter shaft. All the gears on the counter shaft are rigidly fixed and it is running at, all the gears are runs at the same speed. Again, this is the main shaft. On the main shaft, we are assembling number of gears of different diameter or different number of teeth, and in addition to that, in between the 2 gears we are using the dog clutch, sliding dog clutch. In turn, this is the total sliding dog clutch. It can be slide to and fro. It is having both rotary as well as axial movement, but all the gears on the main shaft are having only rotary movement. There is no axial movement. This dog clutch is having both rotary as well as axial movement. And in this we are using, based on the requirement, based on the speed, either we may use the spur gear or helical gear, but in this gearbox they are mixing both the spur and helical. For low speed they are using spur gear, for high speed they are using the helical gear. That means high torque spur and low torque helical. Okay, that is to reduce the noise. And again in the gearbox, to support the main shaft and the counter shaft in the gearbox body, they are using different types of bearings. For example, this is the ball bearing. Okay, in this totally there are 3 different types of bearings are used in the gearbox normally. One is either it may be the ball bearing, or either it may be the roller bearing, or it may be the taper roller bearing. For example, wherever we come across with the low torque, then we are using the ball bearing. That is, the ball bearing, in case of ball bearing, type of contact is point contact. It can take less load, friction is less, then we are using ball bearing. For higher torque transmission, the load is more, then we are going for roller bearings. But if we use helical gear, then it leads to produce the axial thrust in the gear shaft. To take the axial thrust, we are using taper roller bearing. Suppose if the axial thrust is towards left, then this bearing taper is towards right, then it can take the axial thrust. That means the taper roller bearings are used to take both the vertical as well as axial thrust. Okay, that means totally in a gearbox, either we may use ball bearing or roller bearing or taper roller. But in some cases, to support the clutch shaft, the main shaft in the clutch shaft, we are using needle roller bearing. Needle roller bearings are also used in small vehicles. Now, again, one more thing is, in the gearbox, as I said earlier, 3 basic types: sliding mesh, constant mesh and synchro mesh. But in the automobile, we are not using the sliding mesh type of gearbox. Normally in the automobile, we are using 2 types of gearbox. One is constant mesh like this, or in now recent vehicles, in the cars, light duty vehicles, we are going for synchro mesh gearbox. But The difference is in constant mesh gearbox, all the gears are in constant mesh, and again at the time of changing the gear, they are sliding the dogleg. And at the time of engaging the gears, one is the main requirement is the driving and driven gears. Both must rotate at least at the same speed, then it is easy to engage or disengage the gear. But make them to run at the same speed, driving and driven gear. In case of constant mesh gearbox, we are using double declutching. Double declutching means at the time of changing the gear, we are press the clutch twice. That is, we are disengage the clutch, bring it to the neutral, again we are engage the clutch, rise the engine, again we change, disengage and then change the gear. That we call as, that procedure is called double declutching in case of constant mesh gearbox. That is the drawback in case of constant mesh gearbox. But to overcome this drawback and for smooth engagement of the gears, nowadays in almost all the vehicles we have started using synchro mesh gearbox. In that synchro mesh gearbox, we are using synchronizing unit instead of dog clutch. Dog clutch is also there. We are using a tapered synchronizing unit. It will make, when we start shifting the gear lever, first the gears are engaging, that is synchronizing unit is engaging, and it will make the driving and driven member to run at same speed, then only we can change the gear. That is, at the time of changing the gear, there is no noise in case of synchro mesh gearbox. That is the advantage of using synchro mesh gearbox. But only the drawback in case of synchro mesh gearbox is it includes more number of components